Alright, let's look at some more damage numbers this time from Squig. Feeling pretty good about this, to be honest. I think it's way better than people were thinking, because the unit got nerfed, right? But let's have a look. First, thanks to all my patrons. Thanks to Baron of Dice, and Wybarian makes good art. Check them out in the description below. Still looking for more patrons, and also, on a side note, the Mossdog Gaming Summer League registration is up now, so if you're looking for some TTS games, you want to get in and play 4th edition right off the rip, you let me know. Send me a PM in Discord. Cool, so first let's actually take a quick look just at the profile here. I just had the thing up. It's going to be right here. Boom, Squig. So 6 up save, 1 health, so there's 12 models, so the damage, 6 save, 12 wounds, or 12 health, right? Like, we're really not very survivable at all. 1, which is totally fine. 1 control, and that's maximum, because we're a beast. And then our movement is actually really slow at a D6 plus 3. From what I remember, it was a D6 plus 5 before, so 2 inches slower is quite difficult. And when we're under the light of the bad moon, we can't run in charge, but we do get to re-roll this D6. So we're gonna have some, you know, we're gonna be moving like 3 or 6, 7, 8 most of the time, but when you move 4, it is gonna suck when you do roll those back-to-back ones. They also have this ability, Squig's Gone Wild. Whenever they die on a 4-up, they inflict 1 mortal damage on the attacking unit after the fight ability has been resolved. So that's cool, because they don't flee anymore, right? And then they also come back on a 2-up for D3 slain Squigs. So that's pretty cool. And then we're going to talk about 1 damage buff, because they do have companions, right? They do have the companion keyword, but they will get this bouncing fury effect because it specifically names, you know, those specific attack profiles. So it's like when you know, this is essentially allowing for this companion, right? So let's have a look. So, boom. So, Squig, just like, and so it's herd times 10, but it's actually 12 models in the unit. Against a 4-up save, they're looking at like a 7 damage output, which is not a ton, right? Like 4-up save, 7 damage is not really a lot. And if we throw that Bouncing Fury, which is +1 attacks on the charge, we're up to like 9 damage. So we're adding like not even 2.5 damage from this unit. And then this unit, when it all dies, will deal an average of 4 mortal wounds, which I think is relevant to its overall total damage, right? Because it's 1/3 of all models that die will deal a mortal damage. However, when we reinforce this unit, we're pushing more like 14 damage when this thing fights, and now we're getting into that range, right? Where, you know, if it's a 6-up save, we can deal 20 damage to a unit. Right? And we're throwing lots of dice, which again brings us closer to that. Like, they're more consistent, right? They're less swinging, and they're going to be approaching the average more often. So again, like, if this is a screen, or if this is a flanker and you're going after some other screen, it's, you know, it's enough to kill a unit of gut rippers almost. And if it's like, you know, obviously another unit of herd, or if it's like stabas or something else, like, it's going to be lifting that if it's reinforced. And if we throw that Bouncing Fury in, right, on the charge, we're looking at, you know, 18 damage on a 4-up save. And now we're getting into some pretty good damage numbers, right? Like, for example, against brutes, they're going to be dealing about 14 damage against a 3-up save. So this is enough to clear 5 brutes, and then 8 mortal wounds after that on top of that, which is enough to clear another 3 brutes, right? Like, a reinforced unit of brutes has 30 wounds, and on a 3-up save, this thing's dealing, you know, an expected 21 damage against a reinforced unit of brutes. That's a lot. It's 7 out of 10 models that are being removed. I feel like herd in this next edition are really going to be like fast. They're going to be fighty, but they're going to just melt, right? If they get beat up, they're just going to melt. But I'm thinking right now, and I'm thinking that probably the best usage of this unit is going to be when they're reinforced. And there's just a couple of very simple reasons behind it. One, you have 4 herders instead of 2 herders, so you're going to be bringing back 4 D3 squigs. You also can't bring back squigs if the unit is at maximum strength, so having more, like having 20 squigs in a unit gives you more room to bring extra squigs back. And now that squigs are fighting on 3 inches, having a big brick of 20 squigs is going to be significant. It's going to be a lot of damage. So yeah, like, and that's kind of how Squig should feel, right? Like if they get the chance to bite you, they're really going to sink their teeth in. And so the best way to deal with them is to either keep them at range or to, you know, like deal with them quickly. But even then, you know, if they're in combat and they die, they're still going to be dealing damage. So as long as, even if they have strike last and the whole herd gets wiped, you're going to be dealing an average of 8 mortal wounds just from the Squigs Gone Wild, which is, you know, nothing to sneeze at. They look like they're going to trade really well. And I'm curious right now to see what kind of support heroes they have. Because they're quite slow. So I'm wondering if they have like an Unleash the Squigs, or if the Squig Herder has some other buff that can be used on companions. But we'll have to wait and see. But I think Gits are going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking around, you know, they're very similar, and I can't wait to get some points and to be able to start list building. So until then, like, subscribe, wow.